Hello guys, Cool Yoshi here, and welcome back to my playthrough of CTR Racing Nitro Field 100%. In the last episode, we finished off Nitrous Oxide, and now we are going through each of the individual worlds trying to collect all of the relics to golden or higher. I may do the platinum relics off screen later, but as far as I know, I'm not going for them directly, since they are pretty tough in this game. And here we'll be trying to do some of the gem cups as well as, I guess, finish off everything else. So, CTR challenge obviously first to begin with, and then the time trial relics afterwards. They get very hard to win after a specific point, and obviously the golden one is the main one we're going for. Part of the reason why I'm going for gold relics in the first place is because the sapphire is far too easy to go for, and just taking that would be like a consolation prize. It's preferred to go for the gold, since if you have all gold relics, you get the maximum percent. You don't actually need platinum relics to get the full percent, which is good, because that would be really annoying, at least in the normal game. So I'm trying to learn a new strategy here. So the idea is, when you do the drift, you wanna do only one or two at a time, and if it's too much, then one strategy you could try and go for is drift like once or twice to build up a tiny bit of speed, or just ignore it and completely hop over everything, since I had to slow down there because that forced me to take an awkward angle. Keep in mind, whenever I come back from these fades, it definitely takes a while to get used to the driving again. Oh, that T is even more annoying. Probably my worst thing is trying to actually dodge the stupid items in the way. So the idea is you want to get free boost as many times as you can, but you also want to hit the little mini tails as much as you can. Probably should have turned a little bit faster. It's kind of silly. Okay, so I got a little bit better at that trick. I think the main reason I'm getting better is because obviously I'm trying to do more drifts, as well as space them out to one or two at a time, because if you don't do this good enough, it's possible to easily lose your drift boost. I'm also starting to hop around a little bit more, and maybe do it like one or two at a time so I don't balk into as many walls as I can. It's still very tricky to do. I watched someone finally do it, and you can keep the boost for the entire way, and I was correct about that. But it is very difficult to do so. So you like can't just drift and do stuff, but I guess the good thing is as soon as you do a drift boost of any kind, it gets stored as long as you get it at least once. So as long as you keep that over, some of the tricks become a lot easier. Funny, despite failing this in the previous attempt, I was able to get this shortcut this time. All 3 laps in a row. Unfortunately, the next time won't be so easy. As you can see, there's some very sneaky hidden boxes that we have to get behind there. And then after that, we have to do it. So, we're just gonna probably start in yellow a little bit more. Unless I get too close to the sapphire. And just hope for golden times to come up. If I could, like, figure out what the gold time is via, like, plus sign, I would definitely use that. Because that is something that is really fun. I would like to try and focus on. So, anyway. Continuing on now. It's definitely something that's really crazy. Alright, so I guess now onto the relic races. The relic races are by far the hardest thing in this game to do in the adventure mode for 100%. Especially if you want the full percentage. Needing to get every single one can get a little bit annoying if you are not prepared. And I'm pretty sure we do actually lead the Beatox race for 100%. The way I'm probably gonna deal with that is actually probably just go to the race and like single race later with a guide equipped, and just break each individual one by one in one setup, because I'll never be able to see them while doing the cups. But I do want to, I guess at minimum after this, do all the cups on easy, just so I can say that I've done them. And then probably do them on medium. Normally I'd probably do them in hard as well, but again, I'm not going to do that for the playthrough, because that takes way too long, and that's pretty crazy. So, yeah. Obviously, just like before, I'm not going to just go through and get all the other stuff. At first, I'm just going to go around and try and get all the boxes' locations memorized first, so that means it'll take quite a while to memorize that I may fail straight away because of that. Figuring out where to drift in particular is something that's going to be a big challenge. And figuring out which strategies I do. Those are some of the worst boxes already. Okay, so I'm going to show you the most difficult box location first, since these are as simple as doing the tricks. Go to the right, turn to the left, and you see a box behind the side. If you try and drift around there, you'll never get that box. So far, the only way I know of getting it is to do other stuff. And then there's this ice as well. This ice is like my least favorite part, I think, out of all of them. And then there's these part immediately after, where if you jump too high, you'll just completely destroy all the bosses. But, of course, more important than that are the seals. The seals. Those seals, man, they are super obnoxious. Like, my least favorite thing ever. I don't know why, but everything that has time cycles, for some reason, I suck at avoiding it. It's just so terrible. I don't know why, but it's just so bad. And a lot of the boxes you're expected to drift into as well. Again, like I said, regardless of what happens, I'm going the full 3 laps just to make sure I don't do anything crazy. As well as practice my drift. As you might have guessed, those seals in particular on the right side are the real reasons why I hate the trap, because if you get hit by even one of them, you pretty much fail the entire thing and are forced to restart. As for the other boxes, I'm not really sure what to think about it yet. If you do good enough, you could maybe start doing tricks on like the final lap of some sorts, but other than that, I don't really know. Of course, figuring out the exact boss route is going to be very annoying, considering the fact that we have to deal with movement cycles while all this is happening. and quick break turns to get around turns if fades don't work. Okay, I'm gonna do this trick on this third lap for sure to try and get more speed. Okay, well, we got one of them. So we're gonna have to go for the tricks on the first 2 laps and other stuff and just figure out how to get the other boxes later. And you can see why I hate the ice right there. I just missed 2 boxes and there was like nothing I could really do to change it. It's really stupid. I'll like it. Now I'll restart and go for all 38 and hope for the best. Okay, so he's on the right side, so we should be going to the right first. That's one thing I messed up. I tried to go to the left like a silly person and of course got hit by him. Because that's what they do sometimes. And I'm guessing for that one, just based off of the way I went, left is probably the best. It's something that you have to remember. Yeah, okay. So yeah, right is definitely correct at the beginning. So we have to go for the hardest box straight off the bat because of that. And then kind of just think on the fly. Gonna get a drift boost in here to help with getting that box. With drift air to help out. Okay. Going slow on purpose just to make sure I get all this stuff and no drift boost here. Safety right here and a drift boost right here plus jumps to hopefully get through that really good. Okay, I think that takes like 2 years to do that. Middle. Ah, I missed it at the last second. That one's really annoying to get. Right. And left, 2. Okay, we actually did that a little bit faster. I'm not sure why I didn't just avoid brake drifting there, but... Oh, and because we're faster, going to the middle seems to be the best for that seal. But, so if I end up slowing down at all, I could easily get hit by that. And as for the seals on the right, I haven't deterred yet, but middle just seems to be the best bet, and then we just hope for the best. This one, we kind of just have to yell and hit it, and we got it. Left, middle, and then left after the first seal. And then get this first. Get this via side. Using my hops to try and prevent myself from sliding around too much here, because that's a big pain to deal with. Ugh. Okay, well, I'm not going to take that, obviously. So let's try again. This actually seems much easier than I thought initially. I thought it was going to be way worse, but now that I've figured out exactly what the seal cycles are very beginning, I can kind of understand how to get through them. I don't know why I restarted there. I could have just re-gotten the box. I think it's just so I could take a better route. That's probably why. Again, I'm only doing 1 drift, but it's just to preserve my speed, and I'm trying to do more of these as I go along to get more speed. Okay, well that one I'm not going to worry about, so that means I'm going to have to go left this time, because I went slow. If I was really fast, then I would go a different route. There. 1, 2, 3. If you're slow on this, it's very possible you could fall into the water. And for the yellow box again, I call that when I have to kind of just get one without doing stuff. Okay, we got the 2 this time. And we got that 2 as well. Of course, after all of that, I missed the easiest box to get that isn't even on a slope. Because I freaked out, as per usual. Let's not even do that anymore. Missing the start boost isn't our bad one. That's a bear. Again, kind of have to slow down here. No reason to risk it. Okay, middle. And drift on the right side. Get this. Get this. And do not jump, because if you jump, they'll jump you right over the boxes. Double drift boost and a double jump to preserve the speed here. And then yellow box again. This time we missed it, but that's alright. Got the 2 again. I'm pretty sure that the cycle does not allow for that. We could get that on a second or third try. We're not too worried about missing that. Same for that one. We could actually get it via try. As long as we get two boxes on each try, we're good. Okay, so looks like as long as I don't fail, the cycle lines up perfectly so I can do that, and I'm going to actually keep this just so I can figure out where the boxes are. Wow, that seal's literally on the same cycle as last time, on the far left, so middle again. Again, a little brake shift kind of needed to make sure I don't fall into the water, but still get a decent enough speed. Okay, much better this time around. That's the fastest version. Yeah. Okay, that hop was very unnecessary. I really need to stop moving around on these spots. I'm so used to like drifting, I think. That's what's got my mind messed up. And then immediately missing the first jump, because of course I go for a second drift. Not gonna do that. Okay, I need to figure out which ones are okay to miss now and which ones I can safely... This one definitely seems to work better when going on the right side. And you can definitely miss that and still get a flat if we're good enough, but I'll see about it. Okay, we snuck in a third jump. That's what I was thinking we could do. Okay, we got that one. Barely got over there. By the way, if we block that wall even once, we have to reset immediately. There's absolutely no way we could just do that. As well as missing those boxes, too. Have I forgotten about those? And as you might have guessed, I absolutely hate the ice physics in this part. Just track in particular. It's just so annoying to deal with, and it's really hard to route this. Yeah. In case you're wondering, I'm a very fast learner, so I could learn these routes really quickly, as well as finishing the entire game originally in 101.2% at least a few times has also helped me familiarize with how to do some of these good. And yes, I did indeed get the gold relics on one playthrough one time, but that was done on the original version as Neo Cortex, not Dingodile, so it was quite a bit easier. Dingodile, in some terms, is actually a little bit easier than Cortex because of that, but in general, I think Cortex is better at just doing everything right, but it's hard to know. I'm going to keep that because, like I said, I only need a gold, so I'm not too worried about failing that. But I will have to slow down later if I want to get all the boxes. And this we have 3 tries to get, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll probably end up getting it later when we go for other chicks. Gotta remember to go for this. Yes, as far as I know, Hoppy is best to preserve your speed. See, I knew something was wrong. That cycle's off because I got there at a different time. Definitely something that you need to figure out. Single drift to get back my speed. Oh, that was a low jump. I'm surprised I made it over that. It's got 3 tries for that. Yeah. I knew that was gonna be awkward. I had to go a different way, and because of that, I missed my jump because I went completely on. I'm not surprised if some of the other levels also take this because I expect it to be. Like I said, this game is hard and I'm trying to optimize for platinums. Because off screen, if we were to do it all platinum run, it would take much longer. You'd see me resetting a lot, doing other stuff, and also play a lot riskier in general, like using drifts to get my speed back up, getting as many drifts as I possibly can, while also getting like at least a minimum of 1 or 2 at a time, just so I can keep my speed in terms of getting the other stuff. Okay, now this will work perfectly for the second one. I think it's me switching over to the left one that's made things bad. Okay, now let's do the original strat. 1, 2. Ah! Still missing the easy one again. Wow. Immediately after that, we immediately missed the easiest one again. We cannot deal with that. Of course, if we were playing the game for golden, we wouldn't need that, but for practice, I want to do this. And then maybe in Warp Floor, I'll go a little bit quicker, so I can get most of the goldens off screen. I'm starting to learn an auto cue as well on when to actually do the drift by just looking at it based off of the audio of the BAM sound. So after the BAM sound appears, I start doing that stuff. Also, for that boost there, I'm pretty sure I can only like take it on laps 2 of them. Okay, I should probably be focusing now. There's a fall there for the first time. If you go too far out, you just straight up die, so you need to be careful not to fall out of bounds. Again, I jumped too late there, I think. No, early. That was early. Let's try this again. Don't know why this first box is sometimes giving me so much trouble. Keep in mind, we're forced to get this box early because of the seal cycle. If we go too far right, we just hit the seal, so we have to do it this way. There's no other way of doing it. We have to do this way because this is what the seal wants us to do first. Finally got it. If we get into lap 3 from now on, we're continuing all the way through. If we get a lot of boxes on our way, we'll continue through. I am actually able to get that all 3 laps. It's just a little bit tricky to do. This is where I failed last time. And I failed again because I didn't have enough speed this time. Wow. Honestly, I'm doing really bad right now. Can't be missing boxes like this. Let's go for this one this time. Again, I missed the freaking center one. Why is that what always get me? Jeez. I'm gonna have to practice runs from now on up to that point, even if I miss this because I don't care anymore. I'm literally just going to just runs up to that point just so I can practice getting the boxes legit and not fail like a dozen times. Jeez Louise. It doesn't help that the hitboxes have actually been fixed to be good too, so you have like not much melee at all to break them, and it's not fun dealing with that. And I use hops to turn around because if you use a hop, you can both preserve your speed and do stuff a lot more easier. Oh, barely avoided the seals there. Okay, I'm gonna get the worst setup first. 1, 2, 1. There we go. I was wondering why was I missing that so much. I just need to not jump for crap's sakes, and I'll get that when I get the one on the far right. Duh. And after all that, okay, well, I can actually do a backup for that. I need to just remind myself of it. Probably could have done a backup to begin with. Now to the left, and to this way, to the right, and great. As far as I know, I don't see a good way of doing that other than that strategy. Okay, so if we get a decent box break here, we're going all the way regardless of what happens. I'm not going to go for the yellow drift anymore, but I still have to go for some sort of drift just to be able to do that. Barely avoided the shield there. That was scary. Remember, the seal instantly kills runs. And to the edge first, because that's... I'm better lined up for that one. And then this one, we could kind of do whatever we want. We'll do this one, since we are lined up with it. And now our backup time. Right, left. That's our backup. There we go. See, that was an easy backup to do. Now we can actually start drifting around some of these turns as well. And bam. Wow, that looked really fast. Yeah, you can't just do nothing too. Like, in order to get some of the plats, you have to drive really well as well. Some of them are free, but there are a couple in particular that are very difficult. Okay, I'm just gonna go for the yellow drift and hope for the best. Oh right, I already got it because I'm doing other stuff. Okay, now I need to remember, brake due to the right. There's no other good way I know of getting it other than that. And then 1, 2, 3, and middle west. And there we go. Oh, I almost missed that too. And we got the plat. It's actually a free plat too. So after all of that, we got our second accidental plat of the run. That's good. We don't have to come back to this track again. I actually finished the time, I think, well under the actual time. So I had about 7 seconds of leeway actually. So that was probably one of the easier tracks to do because of that. It's just that the ice was just so terrible. Missing all the boxes there. Thankfully, it didn't take me on to get a pattern on how to best get them, but still, that was annoying. And sure enough, we get rewarded with a platinum this time. Okay, so now we're just gonna go for golds for the rest of them. If we have extra time, we'll just go for the... we're gonna try our best as well to get everything done in terms of High Coliseum and Turtle Chat right away too, because that's really important. Okay, final world. Let's actually do this correctly this time. Engine labs first. Fortunately, regardless, we'll have to go the long way for this at least once, but definitely gonna attempt to skip it at least once. Now, Engine Labs is absolutely ridiculous for its time trial. You're forced to slow down at least decent a bit to do this stuff, or during one of its box breaks, you have to get a minimum time where you break 2 boxes next to each other all together. And with the touchy hitboxes, it's really crazy to do. It's almost impossible, to say the least, to go through. So when I do that, I'm probably just gonna yell the time trial as early as possible, and if I get a gold, I get a gold. If I don't get a gold the first time, I'll drive back and then I'll do our stuff. Of course, I will still try and drive perfectly, but if I miss boxes this time, I won't necessarily go back for them. In case you're wondering, Engine's Labs is probably by far the worst relic race in the game for getting every single box, because all the stuff are just hidden in very terrible positions. The C and R are really close together in this map, jeez. It's like not even a challenge. I have no idea how to drift for that. That feels way too small than the last time and stuff. Get the double boost there. I think the last one is up here. Or not. Oh wait, no. I remember what it is. It's on the edges of one of these spots. Yep. Jump over the hole to get it. And so, nothing different. The CTR challenge is, once again, really easy. The C has, I guess, a little bit of problems with it if you're not careful, but... Oh, jeez. That was bad. Again, I'll do drifts, but only one drift or so at a time. Bad cycle, by the way, on the Mulan cars. I can tell because they went down right away. In that case, we can't get the boost and are forced to go the one way around. I actually don't mind crashing there because if you keep that boost for too long, it is possible to not control it. Because in the original game, there's a little mini trick you could do. I'm not going to show it off until the time trial, but it's possible to jump on this side boost you see right here. You could land on that and get more speed from it than before. In the original game, it would give you so much speed that you would go flying for the rest of the track, and you could hop to preserve the speed for even longer, and if you do it for a long time, your control becomes, like, almost impossible. It's really brutal, and we didn't get a good cycle, but we were able to at least get one of those things. The thing comes down on the right, that's when you know that you can get the first run. As for actually hitting the box, it's kind of tricky. Oh, and fell right into the center pit, but everyone's so far behind because it's technically set to easy mode in the game. Or classic to a point where they're not gonna catch up well. Easily. Alright. Another easy challenge. So yeah, unless I do badness at Engines Labs, I'm just going to yell invites, and if I get a free gold, I get a free gold, and I will get platinum later. Because getting platinum, that requires you to get all the boxes, requires you to both most likely stop it there to set up your speed properly, and break the boxes in such a way that you get as many of them as you can early on. It's not like mixed or anything else, like you just have to break a bunch of them, because there's way too many to break to do other stuff, so I need to remind myself, don't quit because of boxes. Sapphire should be easy enough to attain, but I do definitely want to attain the gold, so hopefully we get the gold first try, so we don't have to come back to that track ever again. We'll do a similar thing to all the other ones. Only quitting if I had bad stuff. And it looks like they blocked off stuff here, too. In the original game, you could jump down one of the sides, and that was a potential shortcut to one of the game's later levels. Battles, it led to either... There's one spot you could take to the Cortex Castle, and one spot here that led you straight to Engine's Lab. You could just fall off there and is a lot quicker. They completely removed that, so you can no longer do that. There's boundaries blocking you from going through there. Previously, you could just fall down the staircase and just end up at specific spots. It was, I think, one of the many tricks that developers probably recognized right away, so they obviously removed it, because why not? Also, some of the races are going to get longer to retry, like Oxide Station's gonna take retry, same for this, because all of them are really long, so I'd like to not retry unless it's on maybe the first lap, so let's just hope we do at least decent enough to get stuff. Probably gonna ignore those Vexes. And you can see this is probably one of the worst time trial levels now. You can easily see why it's one of the worst. There's boxes literally scattered everywhere. It's so hard to know where to get them, and they're just scattered all over the place, I tell you. It's not a fun one, that's for sure. And here's the badness, right there. Look at all those frees. The only good way that I know of getting them is to just get as many as you can, retry, do other stuff, and just hope that you go fast enough. Okay, I'm gonna consider that a fail and try again. Like I said, I kind of just have to drift through all these. A single drift here to prepare for this. Some of the angles you have to take too are pretty precise, so like I said, I'll only quit if I get a very bad draw, like I feel like I crashed once into something like that. That's what my fail's gonna be considered instead. Because if I die decent enough and get enough boxes, I should at least get a gold, maybe more. As for how you're expected to get this box, that's kind of how you're expected to get it. Break drifting. If you did not know how to do that, that would be one of the hardest boxes to attain in the game. I'm not going to care about that this time. It's a few seconds last, so it's not going to really matter, I think, in the end, if we get enough of them. And yes... only got one there. But I slowed down enough to where I could get this reliably. Go for the edge turns first, just because they're more annoying. Like I said, I'm not going to quit even if I miss a box. Only gonna quit if we fail by falling into a pit. It's hard to know what pattern you do, but as far as I know, your movement has to be very precise, so this is arguably the worst time trial in the entire game in terms of getting the actual plat, because as before, platinum times have been upgraded in this game to be more difficult, so Engines Labs is definitely one of them, so definitely something that has to worry you. Yeah, that's gonna be considered a fail. Sometimes I feel like I take very bad rides there. There must be another way of doing that. Probably drifting around there. I kind of lied about that. It was early enough to the point where I didn't want to bother. Oh wow, that lines me up perfectly for that. Don't really need to worry too much about the boxes on the right side. They're gonna be slow to begin with. Yeah, this title's still pretty weird. Okay, I'll get one now. And do a zigzag motion to get that. I don't know why I did that, honestly. Again, if I could only find out the golden time, I would be able to more easily figure out what to do. Okay, that's not a good lineup for that. Let's go for this instead. And as you might have guessed, like, for one of those, you have to get, like, 5 boxes at once. It's something crazy like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then there's that box as well that I've missed a couple of times now. Funny, I got that in my first try, but I could not get any other times. Okay, that's not gonna work. I said regular fail, and that's considered a fail, so we're gonna do this until we can at least drive till the end of the course. One. Oh, there we go, that's perfect. Let's actually try and do the trick this time. That's what I was trying to do the past few laps. Why did it take me so long to do that now? Again, if I get an accidental plant, I'll be kind of surprised. This check is really awful for trying to get a plant. Okay, I'm just gonna yell this and hope for the best. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Just trying to brake drift to get that. Okay, got it. That's one of the worst ones to get. Again, thankfully there are free runs in the jump. That worked really well. Hopping to preserve my speed there. And we got a decent cycle because of it. Lawn. And then I believe if I go lawn again, I can get the light one a little bit easier. Okay, good to know. We had to jump to get that. Again, I'm not going to go lazy because of Vixie boxes. So I miss them, it'll be just that. And yeah, definitely don't try jumping over that. Because that will happen. So we won't get that probably, but we could get a gold minimum, I think. A good try. So let's try and get sneak in a couple drifts. Do not remember where these are. As far as I know, this run is the best of the runs so far. It's the first run where I got those 2 boxes in one go, so I definitely have a good chance of getting it maybe. Oh, I got the lawn one out of all of those. Okay, jump. Okay, I remembered that. Have to slow down there, because I don't think I'll make that. Okay, let's just get these enough to slow down and we should get gold. There we go. In the end, it was a free gold. Just took a little while. But yeah, you could kind of see how getting the platinum would be hard. You pretty much have to get the first 2 yellow and then slow down and do like a zigzag motion to get the remaining ones. Like, I think you have to slow down on purpose to get one of the zigzags. And then kind of just break the other ones before, and then cross the finish line within the time you freeze, and hope it's fast enough for a plat. That's the only other thing I can think of. And of course, on top of that, there's a whole lot of precision going into the run. There's so much stuff that has to be done. Things are crazy. We might actually do some of the relic races first for that reason, to try and get them out of the way. Since you can pick between CTR Challenge and relic race.
Ray, you've earned a relic.
See, there's like a berry rock against everything, so we can't do tricks anymore. So we're gonna go underground next for Cortex Castle. We're gonna do the relic race first this time. Probably not such a good idea, but we'll try and get the golden and hope for the best. This one, like I said, is awful Dingodile, but in terms of box placement, it should be maybe a little less tricky. Of course, there is the problem of having to do the shortcut, so we'll have to figure out how to do that first and figure out what the best box route would be that would line us up perfectly to take the shortcut and make it. I know you have to take the jump, I believe, to make it, but actually getting enough speed to get over there, I've never managed it once. Look at this. There's so many of it hanging over the edge. How am I supposed to know that exists? Oh gosh. One's on jumps. Well, I'm not going to be good enough to do this, so let's ignore it for now. Okay, that's going to be considered a fail, because obviously we don't want to get hit by anything. So we're going to redo this. Don't think there's a good way to avoid bonking there. That's just an unfortunate thing about being Dingodile on Cortex Castle. In case you're wondering, that's how you're supposed to do that trick. Break shift to the right and just do all that as best as you can. It's very annoying, of course, to get down just right. Gonna avoid the jump this time, just to play it a little safe on this. Okay, we didn't mess up that one this time, but we don't have enough speed for that. I know we can take the taste one, so let's try and make sure. Oh, and then there's this madness. Whoa. Where'd all that come from? I bet you're wondering. Oh, not fun. No, I already missed one box. Alright, break shift there to get 2 boxes. Save a little bit of time. Skip the second ump and take the first. Oh, didn't even give me a chance to. Dumb thing. And I went the wrong way. Okay, that's my best way of getting that one. Oh. Another break shift required. We actually got quite a bit of boxes. I think we can go to the end safely and probably get a gold from that. So I'll just go ahead and skip that, because why not? And finally start doing some drifts. It only took like 20 minutes, but we finally got a drift going. And we're just gonna YOLO this, I don't care. And we're gonna do a drift into this. And there we go, see, that's how you're supposed to do it. I knew it was some kind of drift required. So we have to drift into that, and then we get the other two by going to the side, but we don't need that. Another free gold after all that. It's only 204. See, if I had known that, then I would know whether or not to go or not, or how many boxes I should get. But we got the gold, and now we can go on to everything else. Alright, now can we get everything else? If we can get the gold on the next few anuses in a row, then I can safely go back and attempt to plat everything, and then do that. In fact, I might go a little bit longer just to ensure that. I can't believe that was another easy gold. Of course, to be fair though, I didn't have any slowdowns. That helps out a lot.
Dingo, dingo, dingo.
Some of the plats used to be free, so obviously all of them require at least getting all the boxes.
You earned a relic.
Okay. Mocking lots of stuff. Too bad we can't use it because we're not in CTR Nitro Field mode of the end, sure. Okay, now we can go back to pure speed again, which I like. But we do still have the letters to get. The letters should be a little bit easier to at least spot, though I am a bit worried about where they're located, of course. Again, it's Cortex Castle. Probably a pretty difficult course to do. Excuse me. Yeah. I'm glad we're not taking too long on these plats. We're doing really well. Golds are easy once you know how to do them. There are a couple of tough golds. It's hard to know which ones are tough, though. Oh gosh, what is this line? Jeez Louise, that seemed awful, but we made it work somehow. Oh, I knew it. C is on here. It's one letter I actually remember for the original game. I remember there being a letter there from playing this so many times as a kid and adult as well. Knowing where that is. Okay, this is where things start getting a little crazy. Nothing in a secret shortcut. There's the T. See, we have to do a lot of hopping there. There is the R. I just missed it a couple of minutes ago. I don't want to waste too much time going back, so like I said, if we miss stuff on the third lap, we will unfortunately have to restart. That's just an unfortunate thing about doing some of these difficult courses. I'll have to take a line for the spider because of all that stuff. Try and hop over all that. Okay, that's a much more consistent strategy to do that. I'm glad I learned that. So now that secret's gonna be really easy as per usual. All the secrets become much easier once you actually know how to legit do them. Got it. That was actually pretty easy on the third lap. I just went the wrong way the first two times. Ah! So much doing this. It's really obnoxious after a while. Had to slow down there, unfortunately. It's too bad, too, because that's by far the worst turn for Dingodile on this course. It's just so annoying to take. Okay, right, 1, 2. You barely make it, too, but yeah. My biggest problem was obviously not knowing how to drift through that and how to make that. That's my biggest problem, but now I know what to do. It's not a hard shortcut to take anymore. And actually, it was a pretty good time in my opinion. Okay, I don't think we'll have enough time to do all the other stuff, but let's sneak at minimum 1 more relic challenge before the thing ends, and then probably end it on that. It depends. Again, the resets will cost a lot more time this time. So, because why not? We're gonna do Oxide Station, one of the longest tracks in the game. I will just take what we get here. Oxide Station is probably gonna be one of the easier ones to do, because there's not really many complicated turns. Just jumps. A lot of jumps. Medial utilities to mix bosses and jumps. And they have to be kind of precise. But other than that, I don't know anything else. Okay, now go to the far right here to get to Oxide Station. Straight down into Oxide Station. Gonna do the route race first. And we may actually do a yellow one with this one, because this one does take a long time to do. So we're just gonna go for a first try gold and just hope for the best. Oxide Station, thankfully, unlike some of the other dumb tracks, has no obstacles, just a bunch of jumping. So it could really happen to slow it down. So we should actually be pretty fine for the most part there. It's funny how it's considered to be the last track, yet it's so much easier just because of all the boost pads you get to keep your speed, and how there's not really many tough spaces for boxes to be, since you kind of have to recognize that this is just kind of a looping track for the most part. So we're just gonna go for fast and hope we get enough. 1 and 2, 3. Just get as many as we can. If we figure out which spots don't require boosting, then we'll definitely try and drift on those spots. And here's the jump I'm worried about. Oh, and made it. I really like what they did in CTR Nitro with the jump. That's become like my favorite jump of all the jumps to take, because look at that. It's just so beautiful. You just jump through the side and do other stuff. This one. 1. Okay, there's not much in the middle section, so we can go for drifts here. So let's do that. Oh, instead, let's try and do that. This should be a good angle for this one. Part of the problem is trying to get the perfect angle for these can be really annoying sometimes. Brake drift just to ensure I get that. I'm glad I learned that tactic, by the way. Without the brake drift, it would be almost impossible to get some of the boxes on these later courses. They've just been in some very obnoxious places. Getting it like this at least means that we have a chance at doing stuff. Okay, I'm gonna jump up this side, and that should hopefully put me on the box. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Kind of just trying to learn this on the fly. And those are the boxes I missed before. Glad I got them this time. 1, 2. Break. Okay, now we can drift around this entire next part. Whoops. Nice. Okay, we got that at least. Sneak to the side. Those boxes are probably one of the more sneakier hidden boxes in the game, to be fair. They're kind of hidden in a blind spot, so most players would not see them on their first try. Okay. Keep on going. Now to the right, we go for all of these. Except, oh, yeah, to the right for all of them. The edge for this one. Oh, got stuck there, but that's alright, because it was only a mine or so down. Not a big time loss at all. Nice trick there to get that, but probably should have done that. Okay, there's a miss box, so definitely no sapphire, I mean platinum possible anymore. But it was really close. Regardless, this track still feels a lot easier than all of the tracks before that. Like, holy crap, like, everything else was so easy, and yeah, it's sure enough, it's a free gold. First try gold! Only like, the second time that's happened ever in the playthrough. So that's good. So I wanted to get as much of those done as I can, just so that I can do them off screen later. So I'll be doing that off screen, and then for the rest of them, we'll probably have to go a little bit slower. Well, no, we won't, but we will have to try and get the platinum on some of them. So we may end up redoing some of them just to try and get a plat, which might take a little longer, but with our skills, it should be easy. We have 50 out of 60 hogs, so close to 16. Alright guys, we are done now. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed that video, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in our next video, which is not going to be over just yet. We do still have some gem cups to do, and those take quite a while to do. So we'll probably do some of those, and if we can't get all the relics this time in the spot, then we'll use that off stream to do that. So that means we'll have to do Turbo Track one time. So other than that though, leave a like if you enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.